Picture this. It's the early 20th century. Paris is still reeling from the World War, and a man named Victor Lustig is about to attempt the unthinkable. The city of love, known for its culture, fashion, and art, is now a canvas of destruction and despair. The echoes of the war still resonate in the city's heart, and the once majestic Eiffel Tower, a symbol of France's industrial prowess, stands tall yet tarnished in the wake of the devastation. Enter Victor Lustig, a man of charm, wit, and an uncanny knack for deception. Born in the heart of Europe, Lustig was no stranger to the art of the con. Yet even for him, what he was about to attempt would be considered audacious. He was about to sell the Eiffel Tower, not once, but twice. Lustig knew that in the chaos of post-war Paris, the Eiffel Tower had become somewhat of a white elephant. It was expensive to maintain, and many saw it as a stark reminder of a past that the city was desperate to move on from. The tower, once a symbol of national pride, now stood as a monument of national dilemma. With this knowledge and his characteristic audacity, Lustig hatched a plan so daring, so audacious that it seemed almost impossible. But for Lustig, the impossible was just another day at the office. He decided to pose as a government official, seeking potential buyers for the Eiffel Tower under the guise of its expensive upkeep. So in the midst of chaos and confusion, Lustig saw an opportunity, a scheme so audacious, it's hard to believe. But as we'll soon find out, for Victor Lustig, audacity was just another tool in his arsenal of deception. His audacious scheme was just beginning, and the city of Paris, unbeknownst to it, was about to fall for one of the greatest scams in history. With a forged government document in hand, Lustig invited 6 scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting. Now let's dive into the details of this audacious con. The document was a masterstroke of forgery, mimicking the official letterhead of the French government. It was filled with intricate details and signatures that bore an uncanny resemblance to those of high-ranking officials. This was Lustig's first step in setting up his grand scheme. The secret meeting, shrouded in confidentiality, was held in a luxurious hotel suite. Here Lustig played his part to perfection, posing as a high-ranking government official, burdened with a monumental task. He told the dealers that the Eiffel Tower, a symbol of French pride and a marvel of engineering, had become too expensive for the government to maintain. Its impending demolition was inevitable, he said, a decision taken in the highest echelons of the government. Each word Lustig spoke was laced with an air of urgency and desperation. He painted a vivid picture of a government grappling with financial woes, burdened by the weight of a colossal iron structure that had outlived its utility. And he presented the scrap metal dealers with an opportunity of a lifetime, a chance to bid on the Eiffel Tower's scrap metal, a treasure trove of iron that could make them incredibly wealthy. The dealers listened, their eyes wide with shock and disbelief, as Lustig spun his tale. He displayed the forged document, the seal of authenticity to his claims. The dealers examined it, their hands trembling as they traced the official seal, the signatures, the decree of demolition. The document seemed legitimate. The story, though unbelievable, was presented with such conviction that it began to seem plausible. And so, with a convincing story and a seemingly legit document, the stage was set for one of the most audacious cons in history. What happened next is a tale of deception and gullibility that has been told and retold, a testament to the audacity of one man's imagination. One man, André Poisson, was particularly taken in by Lustig's tale. André Poisson, a scrap metal dealer, was about to have his world turned upside down by the master con man, Victor Lustig. Lustig, who was known for his charm and wit, had spun a tale so convincing that Poisson couldn't resist. He painted a vivid picture of the Eiffel Tower's deteriorating state and the government's desperate need for funds. He portrayed himself as a government official tasked with the tough decision of selling the iconic monument for scrap metal. But Lustig was not just a spinner of tales. He was a master manipulator, able to prey on people's vulnerabilities. He knew that Poisson had ambitions of becoming well-known in Parisian society, so Lustig played on this, telling Poisson that the sale of the Eiffel Tower was a secret, and purchasing it would make him a hero, a savior of the French economy. Poisson, overwhelmed by the potential glory and profit, was swept away by Lustig's tale. The prospect of owning the Eiffel Tower, of being the man who saved it from utter ruin, was just too enticing to resist. But Lustig didn't just rely on words. He added authenticity to his scam by arranging a tour of the Eiffel Tower for Poisson. The tower, standing tall and majestic, was the perfect prop for Lustig's deception. Poisson, walking under the colossal iron structure, could only imagine the fortune he would make from its scrap value. And then came the final act. Lustig presented Poisson with official-looking documents sealing the deal. Poisson, believing he was buying the Eiffel Tower, handed over a hefty amount of money to Lustig. And just like that, Lustig had successfully sold the Eiffel Tower. The audacious scam was complete, and Lustig walked away, leaving Poisson with nothing but a worthless piece of paper and a dream that would never come true. But what happens when you sell one of the world's most famous landmarks? You might say, the world keeps spinning, but for one man, André Poisson, life took a dramatic turn. Imagine his shock as he realized the deal of a lifetime was nothing more than a mirage. The Eiffel Tower, the grand symbol of French ingenuity, wasn't his to own. The papers he clutched in his hands were as hollow as the promises made by Victor Lustig, the man who'd orchestrated this audacious scam. Poisson was faced with a decision. Should he report the fraud, admit his gullibility to the authorities, to his friends, to Paris? The thought was unbearable. The humiliation, the laughter, the ruined reputation. No, he decided, he couldn't bear the shame. The silence would be his cross to bear. Meanwhile, Lustig was far from the scene of his crime. With Poisson's money lining his pockets, he made a swift exit, leaving the city of love for the land of opportunity, America. The place where dreams are made and, it seemed, where scams are crafted. When Lustig boarded the ship to America, he left behind more than just the Eiffel Tower. He left a man grappling with his naivety, a city blissfully unaware of the scandal that had taken place under its very nose, and a legacy of audacity that would echo through the halls of con artistry for years to come. Lustig was a master of manipulation, a puppeteer pulling the strings of trust and greed. He'd sold the Eiffel Tower, not once, but twice. He played his part with such conviction that his victims were spellbound, captivated by the prospect of owning a piece of history. And so, Lustig got away with it, leaving behind a bewildered Poisson and an unsuspecting Paris. But the story doesn't end here. Lustig's tale is a fascinating study of the human psyche, of our susceptibility to charm and deceit, and of the audacious lengths one man will go to for a taste of the extraordinary. Victor Lustig's audacious scam left an indelible mark on society. His audacity to sell one of the world's most iconic landmarks, not once but twice, shook the world to its core. This daring plot was not just a deftly executed con, but a masterclass in manipulation and deceit that would leave a lasting legacy. The media was quick to pick up on Lustig's scam, turning it into a sensational story that was talked about in newspapers, magazines, and on radio shows across the globe. The audacious tale of the man who sold the Eiffel Tower captured the public's imagination, and Lustig became a figure of intrigue and fascination. His name was forever etched into the annals of history as one of the world's most audacious con artists. But the impact of Lustig's scam went far beyond the media circus it created. His ingenious plot served as a blueprint for future scams and cons, inspiring a new generation of fraudsters who sought to replicate his audacious exploits. From Ponzi schemes to pyramid scams, the influence of Lustig's audacious con can be seen in many of the fraudulent operations that have since plagued society. In the years that followed his infamous scam, Lustig continued his life of crime, masterminding a series of cons that saw him amass a small fortune. However, his luck eventually ran out. He was arrested in America, where he would spend the rest of his days behind bars. Yet, even in incarceration, his legendary status remained intact, his audacious exploits continuing to captivate the world. Victor Lustig, the man who sold the Eiffel Tower, lives on in infamy, a testament to the audacity of human deceit. His audacious scam is a stark reminder of the lengths some are willing to go to in their pursuit of wealth and fame. It serves as a cautionary tale, a warning of the perils of greed and the power of manipulation. Even today, his name continues to resonate, a symbol of audacity, ingenuity, and deception.